Hey, out there in horror land is another Scarefest review with Joe Lewis from Bonehead Weekly. This week, we're going to talk about another gift that COVID has given me to be able to sit at home and finally get to watch a movie that I wanted to catch on the big screen and didn't get to, Ty West's X. If you don't know who Ty West is, that's okay. I understand, but you should know who he is. He directed some of my favorite horror films, independent horror films in the last few years, as Sacrament, The Innkeepers, which I can't recommend enough, House of the Devil, a few other things that are pretty good, The Roost, but in a lot of television. But X is such a good premise. In 1979, these people in Texas decide to go make their own porno film on a small farm that they rent out for the night, and everything goes wrong from there. That's the plot. And I saw the trailer for it and had to see it. It's got Mia Goth in it, Jenna Ortega, Brittany Snow. I didn't know who Brittany Snow was either. A few other folks, but I had to see it, and it's okay. I recommend his other movies. Basically, this guy owns a strip club. A couple of the strippers want to be porn stars, want to be movie stars. They go, this older couple have this place. There's something amiss. Everything goes downhill that night, which is the basic setup of any movie. There's something with the twist that isn't just even it's not even really a twist. The elderly couple are interesting. You get to know them a little bit more. I just don't know that I buy the reason that they start making trouble for the young folks, if that makes sense to you all. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. So the performances are good, the screenplay is good. I don't have any, and you know, it's 1979 is when it takes place, so it has that vintage look to it that you may expect from some other films that you maybe seen, like Zombies, you know, The Devil's Rejects, and a few other things. I like the movie. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to or hoped I would. I mean, I really enjoyed his film, The Sacrament and House of the Devil. They're just, I love them. House of the Devil's about a babysitter that goes and babysits, and you can pick it up from there. And The Sacrament is about a Jim Jones cult, and it's kind of found footage. And once again, you can pick it up from what happens from there. Both of those, especially The Sacrament's, it's hard to watch in places, but it's a really good movie. This one's not so hard to watch, especially because some of the stars are topless for about a third of the movie. So not so hard for me to watch at all. There's nothing scary about it. There was nothing really, I don't know. There was nothing that made my skin crawl. I love the premise. It's just more of a comedy kind of than a horror film. And like I said, there's not a bad performance in it. I liked everybody. I don't know. There's just nothing that makes your skin crawl. There's nothing that makes you jump. There's nothing that's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. There's just not that scene. It doesn't exist in this movie, but it's not a bad movie. And you have to understand the perspective of what time it was. People literally could go out for a weekend at that time, shoot a porno. VHS was about to blow up and make $1 million. You could do that. It just existed that time. There wasn't YouPorn or Pornhub or all these other things. That people did this all the time. It just, I don't know. There's something I wish it kind of wasn't a horror film, to be honest about it. There's a good scene in it with some alligators. But yeah, and there's a lot of throwbacks to a lot of movies like Eaten Alive and Texas Chainsaw and several others. But so should you watch X? It's at Redbox and you can watch it streaming. You have to pay for it. But yeah, I recommend it. I enjoyed it. I just wished it was just slightly edgier or something. I don't know. Anyway, Ty West can do no wrong in my mind. At least it was an interesting movie. Check out this if you love horror films. Check out The Sacrament. Check out House of the Devil. And check this one out too. It's just not quite. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.